Hi, 5K parents. This is Mrs. Strong here. I just wanted to reach out to you and give you a little overview as to what you're going to be finding in our new distant learning packets. You're going to be making plans to come into school this week to pick this up. There's a lot in here. It looks really scary and overwhelming. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not ideal. This is not going to be fun. There's going to be probably tears and frustrations over the next few weeks. Please don't push yourself or your child to accomplish everything every day. Ideally, about 60 to 90 minutes tops is what I'm asking for you to set aside to work on these things. There's going to be one math activity, one reading activity in here, and then one writing activity. I'm going to be reaching out to you via text or through our Facebook or our YouTube page with additional areas that you can engage with your child. Things like our devotions, our read aloud, maybe a music and movement activity. So make sure you're checking those frequently. You can always text me, call me if you have questions. I'm going to be posting every morning a new math lesson. So right off the get-go, you can take that off your plate. You do not have to teach math. We are teaching first grade math, so it's a little more challenging, but I'm going to have all of my learning materials here. You can watch the video or you can pull up the video for your child to watch, and then I will help walk them through the different steps so that way you can kind of help reinforce or point out things that they should go back and recheck or redo, so that way they are doing the heavy lifting, they are doing the thinking. I do not want you, please do not tell them what to write on the lines. Don't tell them what letters to write down. They need to be connecting letters that we've studied with sounds that they've studied and putting together words, looking at how they can have a capital letter and a period when they're writing, thinking about, is this how the number sounds when I'm saying it? And are my numbers in the right order? You can certainly point out some of those things, but please don't say put down 23 or put down the letter A, because that's not helping them to get ready for first grade. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's a way that they're going to learn and grow and improve over these next couple weeks, and things that they're going to be needing to know how to do when they get into first grade. So let's get into the learning material that's going to be in this folder when you pick up. First things first, you're going to have a number of books, 5 to be exact, of different early readers that they're going to be practicing reading every day with. These have a unit number at the bottom. So you already had unit 17 and 18 sent home about 2 weeks ago. So that book you should still have. That one you're going to be using starting on Monday next week, the 6th. So these books will start at unit 19. So 17 and 18, you're going to be starting on Monday, but you already have those books. For some of the kids, this is going to be a real challenge. Please don't force them to read this whole book. You can take it in chunks. You can take it in 5 or 10-minute chunks. Do some at lunch, some in the morning. Read a few pages at night before bed. That's all well and good. Use them to set the pace. Don't try to dictate the number of pages or minutes that they have to get through every day. The point is just to foster a love of reading and not squash any of that passion for reading and getting into print. The next thing you're going to see is this week 1 packet. What I did to make this easier, because this is how my teacher brain works, this is how my mama brain works, instead of sending you a packet that was going to be 50 pages deep, I paper clipped these into the different weeks that we were going to be covering. Lord willing, we won't be out all 7 weeks, but I do have 7 weeks of work in here. So don't even bother looking through week 3, week 4, 5, 6. Don't even bother any of those things, because that's not relative to what we're going to be doing starting on Monday. All right, so these are all in here. Just set these aside. Don't let the kids get into it, because they're going to pull these all apart and it's going to be confusing. I'm going to be specifically referencing different pages in the different weekly packets. So if you can keep this organized and you can keep this away from little fingers who are going to, get it all confusing for you to try to dig through all the papers, that's going to be your best bet. So if you look at week 1, you're going to see that there is a ruler that is paper clipped to the top of it. Set this to the side. This is going to be coming in for math later when we're looking at writing line segments and measuring inches and centimeters. But I didn't want you to not have this and then have to skip those lessons and not have the kids know how to use a ruler for measuring and for drawing line segments. So for week 1 that you're going to be starting on Monday, you're going to be finding a calendar. Every day tells you what we're going to be doing for our Christlight, for our math, for our reading, for our writing activities. For Christlight, I'm going to be posting those devotions on our YouTube or Facebook page so you can have the kids watch me teach the Christlight lesson to them. Then you're going to find a coloring page in the packet here that's going to coordinate with the devotion for the week. So next week is Jesus Dies on the Cross. So you're going to find this coloring page in here. You can talk about it. You can ask how this picture fits in with the story that they watched on, our Facebook or our YouTube channel. The next part of this packet is going to be a little bit of a longer packet for you. This is for our reading. This reading curriculum is great. It really helps the kids understand letters, how to write them, what the letters sound like, how to blend, how words are made, how words work together to create sentences, how sentences have to connect with a picture for the meaning to be there. So this is going to give you a little introduction at the top, and then each day that you do this, you're only going to go up to the black line. You're not going to go past that. I tried to make this as easy for you as possible because I know this is putting you in a difficult situation. I typed up this exact script of what you're going to say. So all you have to do is tell your scholar, open up your N book, turn to page 1, read the script, and it'll tell you pause here, allow the children to write the letters. Or I will be also texting you some audio files because there's going to be some listening exercises that they're going to have to complete in order to do the workbook page. Here is your Super Kids book. So you're going to be starting on Unit 16, letter N and letter M are both in this page. So for letter N on the first page, you're going to be looking at the noisy bus, and you're going to be circling things that start with the letter N. The kids are going to be able to tell you the different names of the super kids. Those are the characters that are going on these different adventures. So you're going to be looking at page 1. There's going to be some different pictures here on page 2 and 3 of identifying things that start with the letter N. So we've got the nest, and we've got a net, and we've got some needles. They're doing some sewing. So those are kind of the different activities that they're going to be coming up with on page 1. But again, you're just going to read what's on the page. And if it's an auditory file, you're just going to play it for them. And they've done this a lot this year that they know how these auditory listening exercises work. Also in your packet, you're going to see the practice pages. Some of these have gone home this year for homework practice. I stapled all of the pages that fit for the letter N and letter M together. So if your child has had enough and after 10 minutes, that's all they've got, that's fine. They don't have to complete this all, but maybe the next day if it's rainy or they're just feeling like they want to do more, they can certainly do more pages. There's also instructions at the bottom for you on how to give the instructions for these different work pages. I have to tell you that in Unit 5, there is no practice page for that unit. So if you're worrying about not having one for Unit 5 or Week 5, don't worry, it's not supposed to be in there. Something else that's in this packet is our journal packet. This is 5 pages stapled together. This is going to be for the whole week. So the instructions on the calendar are going to be pick any page that you want from this packet and complete the sentence. So we've been working on this more at school with identifying the sounds that we're hearing and then putting those sounds together. It's not supposed to be spelled perfectly. If they think that like is spelled L-I-C, that's perfect. Don't correct them. Don't try to have them fix it and explain silent E because we haven't gotten there. We just want them to get used to listening for sounds, identifying them, and putting them on print. So for this one, it says, over school break, I am going to. This does not have to be a lengthy sentence. It can be go to grandma's, go to the park. It can be 2 words. It can be 3 words. We're just working on finger spaces in between each of the words, a period at the end that we've talked about how that's the stop sign for our sentences. So those are things that you can help point out to them if the spacing and if their punctuation is missing. And then also I want them to get used to being the illustrator, drawing a picture and coloring it, making sure that their coloring is within the lines, that it's not scribbled. It's not supposed to be done in 30 seconds. This could be, about 5-10 minutes worth of time if they want to put the effort into adding the extra details like a sunshine or grass or things like that. That will be their writing activity for the week. We are also going to find on the odd numbered weeks, so 1, 3, 5, and 7, a Scholastic News. This is something that you can do during lunch. You can just look at it at bedtime. This isn't something that has to get done, but I wanted to be able to provide this to you if you're looking for a different way of connecting with text. On the back side, there is an activity page. They've done these different kinds of activities throughout the year. So for this one, this is going to be counting and graphing, kind of connecting those mathematical concepts that we'll keep working on over the course of these next few weeks. And then the last part that you'll find in this weekly packet are the math pages. Some of these are going to require them to be doing math fact practice. Some of them are going to be reviewing different concepts like money or telling time that we've already covered. Some of these are going to be new concepts like drawing polygons and some of the new math facts and math fact families that we haven't talked about yet. This is a class fact practice. So this was the last kind of concept we started looking at before the break here. So we're going to go back and review some of those things throughout the week. Sometimes when we get closer to May, they may have 2 math pages to get through. I will try to take them through the key concept part of the day, and then the rest of it I will turn over to you to kind of supervise and guide them with, because they should know how to do a lot of that. One of the parts in our work packets that you're going to be seeing is this item. This we call our privacy folder. It can fold out like when we're test taking, but I wanted to be able to give this to you because it does have this little ruler here if you want to use that as an additional resource. But I like this because this has our hundreds chart in it. So when we're counting, when we're working on some of these math facts, what we will do for 3 plus a blank or 3 plus box equals 10, what we will do for this is I will say, put your finger on 3. And now we're going to count up to 10, and we're going to count the hops. Now at school, we have the name tags that have a line, a number line. This is going to work the exact same way. It's just going to be we're hopping inside a box instead of on a line. So they'll put their finger on 3, and they will count that it's going to take them 7 hops to get to the number 10. So that's what we're going to be using this resource for. There are some other things when we get to money that is going to review some of the coins that we've been talking about. When it comes to writing number words, there's some number words or the days of the week and the month of the year, along with our left and right. So this will be a valuable resource for you as well, and that will be in our packet. One last thing that I wanted to just bring your attention to, going back to reading, is in the Super Kids stack of books. This is Unit 23 and 24. Unfortunately, because of the coronavirus and being away from school for such a prolonged period of time, we will not be able to cover this with our curriculum time for the school year. So this will be a book that you can work through at the end of the school year, at the last week of May or June. It covers the letters X, Y, and Z. So this is something that you're not going to be able to do the auditory files with, but you will be able to do some of the letter writing, and you can still look through some of those pages that is going to help practice some of the blending and the reading skills. And these are all books that you can keep and let them use during the summer while you guys are at home. I know this was a lot that I threw at you. I really appreciate you stepping up and being the teacher for your your kids. I wish I could be there for you. I'm going to try to help you my best that I can remotely. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me, call, text, email, and I will try to do my best to provide you with the help and the resources to get through this. All right. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.